It's a busy Friday here at Cultaholic. AEW Dynamite graded with Jack. Bang. AEW TF moments with Ross. Bang. Wrestler of the Week. Bang. The Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast. Bang. Love You by Friday at twitch.tv/Cultaholic. Bang. Me eating a pack of biscuits and having an existential crisis over on my OnlyFans page. Bang. Lots to do. Let's crack on. Here's some wrestling news. Could a top NXT star be part of Retribution? We have details on plans for the WWE Hall of Fame, and an AEW star tops the PWI 500. The identities of Revolution, like evolution, is a mystery. We still don't know exactly who is going into the group, but we have a strong lead on at least one of them now, and it could end up being NXT's Mia Yim. Let's explain the evidence. Dave Meltzer from Wrestling Observer said that under one of the masks of Retribution this past week was indeed Mia Yim. Now, there's been quite a few people under the masks of Retribution over the last few weeks, as they hadn't officially decided on some of the members of the group yet. But this past Wednesday, Mia Yim lost to Shotzi Blackheart in singles match action, clean as a whistle. Now, that might not sound weird to you, but here's the thing. Normally, when somebody's leaving NXT, they take a clean pinfall loss to somebody who is basically going to replace them in their spot on the roster, sort of that kind of like losing as you're leaving the territory style system. Matt Riddle did it with Timothy Thatcher recently. Keith Lee did it recently with Karrion Kross. And it's just interesting to see how Mia Yim and Shotzi had a really, really competitive singles match, babyface on babyface, and Shotzi Blackheart picks up the strong win over Mia Yim. Almost feels like this is Mia Yim's swan song in NXT before she is unveiled as part of Retribution. Not a bad pick for the gang, I do believe, because they've kind of given off this vibe, what with the wanton destruction, of just like street thugs. And Mia Yim's whole shtick, like the head baddie in charge, you know, the concrete rose, that whole shtick fits so perfectly with Retribution. I think she'd be a strong asset to Retribution. It'd be a great way to bring her up as well. Plus, her other half is now on the top roster. Keith Lee is now part of Raw. Nice to put them back together and they can tour together. It'd be lovely. Mia Yim possibly in Retribution? I'll leave that with you. When it comes to NXT this past Wednesday, they were unopposed once again, and the number is a good one as well. 824,000 people tuned in to the black and gold brand on Wednesday nights, just down by about 20,000 something from the week before, so they have held strong. Next week should be the challenge. It's Super Tuesday, NXT preempted, and again, not up against AEW, but on a different day. They've loaded the show with a 1-hour Iron Man match featuring Finn Balor, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, and Adam Cole. Shoot that into my veins, thank you, please. Potentially, if they can leave that Super Tuesday show with roughly the same number, it's going to be a strong couple of weeks for NXT. And then I'll be intrigued to see how the numbers fall when everything gets back to normal, when the dust settles on everything and Wednesday night wars continue, whether both shows retain that really high viewership. I guess we'll find out. The WWE Hall of Fame has come up in conversation a fair bit over the last couple of weeks. British Bulldog, JBL, the Bellas, Batista, and the NWO just kind of waiting in the corridor next to the Hall of Fame. They haven't been allowed in just yet. The ceremony was cancelled around WrestleMania time. There was talk that it would be taking place at SummerSlam in front of a crowd that isn't back at shows yet. WrestleVotes have updated us on this, and they have tweeted the following. WWE's plans regarding the 2020 Hall of Fame was to do it at a corresponding pay-per-view once fans returned, ideally SummerSlam. That obviously didn't happen. With no fans until November at the earliest, the plan is now to induct the 2020 class as the class of 2021 at WrestleMania 37. So this means that JBL, the British Bulldog, the Bellas, Batista, NWO are all going to get their moments to enter the hallowed halls when WrestleMania goes Hollywood. Some big matches announced for AEW All Out at Dynamite last night. So the AEW Women's Championship will be on the line at All Out. Hikaru Shida defending against Thunder Rosa. It was the officially accepted challenge by the champion last night on Dynamite. NWA Women's Championship is not on the line in this one, just the AEW one. Also, the Casino Battle Royal has taken shape. So far, we can confirm that Darby Allin, Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, Eddie Kingston, The Butcher and the Blade, Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix will all be vying for a shot at the AEW World title. There is still 12 participants, I believe, still left to be announced for that one, so expect some fun surprises on the night of All Out. Also, following that big old brawl they had last night, we're going to see the Dark Order facing off against the Natural Nightmares, Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall, along with Scorpio Sky and Matt Cardona. Matt said just the other week that he was keen to do more stuff long-term in AEW. This could be the start of something special for him. Also, as a result of their win on Dynamite last night, FTR are getting a shot at the AEW World Tag Team titles at All Out. They're going to be facing Kenny Omega and Adam Page in what should be a belter. To go through all the rigours of last night's episode of Dynamite, Jack will be along later today on the YouTube channel for AEW Dynamite Graded. Ross will be here as well, breaking down some of the silliness on AEW TF moments. Staying with FTR for just a moment, an update on the trademark war between them and WWE. You could call it a war on names. WWE have gone back and forth with FTR over this one because Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood want to trademark the following: no flips, just fists, say yeah, top guys, hashtag FTRKO, and Shatter Machine. PW Insider have reported that all 5 of those phrases are not identified as wrestler intellectual property and were created by WWE. Now, it is down to FTR to respond, and they must do so by October the 5th. If they want to continue to pursue getting those names. We'll see what they do. From a tag team that wants names to a tag team that wants more belts, as it happens. Alex Shelley, the one half of the reigning Impact World Tag Team Champions, as the Motor City Machine Guns, having a bit of a career renaissance right now in Impact, wants a bit of the NXT Tag Team titles. Put out a tweet yesterday saying, Kushida, I'm a free agent, bro. Time Splitters to challenge Breezango in NXT. Let's go. Could that be a thing? Could that happen? Is that allowed? Could Alex Shelley turn up on NXT with the Impact World Tag Team title? No. Could it? No. Could it? No. Could it? I don't know. It could. No. It could. Could it? PWI 500 trending on your socials today as Pro Wrestling Illustrated have released their annual countdown of the 500 biggest wrestlers on the planet. And the poster boy this year and #1 wrestler, not you, Barbara Piss from Triple Jump. Sorry. Maybe next year. Sorry. It's Jon Moxley! The AEW World Heavyweight Champion is #1 on the PWI 500. Quite a prestigious PWI 500 this year. We'll talk about it in just a second. Moxley, in an interview with PWI, after being ranked #1, said, I'm not looking for external validation, but PWI was such a big part of my childhood, and to be #1, it's pretty cool. The top 25, actually, breaks down as follows. Jon Moxley at #1, Adam Cole in there at #2, Chris Jericho at #3. Then we have Drew McIntyre, Naito, Okada, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, who was #1 last year, Kofi Kingston, AJ Styles, Keith Lee, they didn't forget about Keith, Brock Lesnar, Kenny Omega, Roman Reigns, Nick Aldis, Bray Wyatt, Kota Ibushi, Rush, Braun Strowman, Jacob Fatu, Will Ospreay, MJF, Aleister Black, Miyahara, and Volta. Strong 25. This year, for the first time, women are being included into the list as well. Previously, there has just been the men's 500 and then the women's 50. This time, women are in the mix as well. Kylie Ray is in there at 78. Tessa Blanchard's in there at 83 as well. There are several others in the rankings as well. So this is a bit of a changing of the guard, and hopefully we will see in years to come as women take more of a precedence in the wrestling, in the mainstream wrestling world, where we have a stronger placement for them, which is happening slowly but surely. We'll see more of that, which is all good. It felt like a very inclusive PWI this year. I won't spoil any more of the numbers for you, but feel free to get a digital copy now, or next month get a nice, fresh, straight off the press copy. physically. And finally, we here at Cultaholic pay our respects to Joseph Melton James, known to you and I as Bullet Bob Armstrong, who passed away this week. His son, Scott Armstrong, took to social media yesterday to share the news. Now, before he became a professional wrestler, Bullet Bob was actually in the Marines. He was stationed in Korea. It was in the 60s when he returned that he took up being a firefighter and started to pursue a career as a professional wrestler, and he took to it like a duck to water. He was all over the NWA territories, winning championships pretty much everywhere he went. His sons caught the bug as well, and he played a massive part in the careers of Scott Armstrong, Brad Armstrong, Steve Armstrong, and Brian Gerard, known to you and I as Road Dogg Jesse James. Bob retired as a full-time wrestler in 1988, but like any wrestling retirement, you just simply don't go away, do you? Bullet Bob kept making sporadic wrestling appearances on a part-time basis. He worked as an authority figure for places like Smoky Mountain Wrestling. In 2006, he was back on a national page as he was in an arm wrestling contest against Conan at TNA Wrestling Lockdown. That was quite a cool moment. In 2011, he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. And how do you celebrate going into the Hall of Fame? Well, by carrying on wrestling, of course. In fact, Bullet Bob Armstrong's last match was May last year. What a guy. We heard back in March that Bullet Bob Armstrong had bone cancer. We know this because his son Scott Armstrong shared a photo of Bullet Bob using Scott's home gym. He had refused treatment for the cancer and simply just wanted to carry on working out. Amazing. Bullet Bob passed away this past week at the age of 80, and WWE, AEW, Impact Wrestling, and the Cauliflower Alley Club have all paid their respects to the incredible Bullet Bob Armstrong. Wrestlers have come out as well to speak on Bullet Bob. Sean Waltman shared a beautiful photo from the Hall of Fame of Bullet Bob and his sons all together. He says, heartbroken by the passing of Bullet Bob, he crushed his Hall of Fame speech the night before this photo was taken. Never seen a father more proud of his sons, and sons more proud of their father ever. Hashtag RIP Bullet Bob. What an honour it is to have known you. William Regal also tweeted out, I'm truly gutted to hear of the passing of my friend Bob Armstrong. His family have been my American family since I moved here 27 years ago. I love them more dearly. My deepest condolences to them all. And we here at Cultaholic extend our love and respect to the friends and family of the late, great Bullet Bob Armstrong. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.